At first glance, this just looks like a simple mermaid's adventure. But it is so much more than that. This story is actually a really powerful exploration of prejudice, empathy, and the incredible potential for change that I think exists in all of us. So let's dive in and break it down. So the story kicks off with this one, absolute law of the ocean. It's a rule that's basically etched in stone for the mermaid world, and it's born from generations of fear and this deep mistrust of anyone on the surface. It's the ultimate prejudice, but it's disguised as wisdom. And right there, that's where our story really begins. This one question, it challenges the entire foundation of their world. It sets up this huge moral conflict that's going to drive our hero, Annie. Okay, so how does this all play out? Well, it all starts with a single choice from one mermaid to defy that ancient law. A choice that, believe me, changes absolutely everything.
Picture this, a massive storm, a ship getting tossed around, and a little girl is thrown into the sea. This is the moment it all goes down. For any other mermaid, the law is crystal clear. You look away, you do nothing. But for Annie, this becomes this impossible test of who she really is. What's so fascinating is you can literally see the battle happening inside her head. On one side, you've got this cold, rigid rulebook of her people saying, don't interfere, fear humans. But on the other side, her own heart, her conscience, is just screaming at her that when destiny is this cruel, you can't just accept it. You have to fight it.
And there it is, her decision. This isn't just some impulse, It's a deep moral conviction. For Annie, saving Sophie isn't just a kind act, it defines who she is. And it sets her on this brand new path, one that leads straight into the human world. So Annie makes it to land. But the human world she finds, it's way more complicated than the simple, scary story she's been told her whole life. And she runs into this complexity right away. On one hand, you have the pure innocence of a child like Sophie, and the simple joy of a baker just giving away free pastries. But then, on the other hand, she meets these pirates who are so greedy they've trained a monkey to be a pickpocket and have no problem threatening a kid to get their way. This is exactly the idea the story is trying to tear down. The merfolk think all humans are bad. The captain of the Royal Navy thinks all pirates are bad. But Annie's journey forces her, and us really, to see that these black and white labels, they just don't work in the real, messy world. And get this, her empathy isn't just for humans. When her friends from the ocean surround the ship thinking she's in danger, she doesn't just pick a side. Nope. She becomes a bridge between them, calming the sea creatures to make sure everyone is safe. Her compassion literally crosses species. Okay, so all of this builds and builds until, bam, a shipwreck. It strands everybody on this mysterious island, the good guys, the bad guys, Annie. They're all thrown into this pressure cooker where their true colors are about to be revealed. And right away, we see the pirates' true colors. They're stranded, maybe dying, and what's their first thought? Not teamwork. Exploitation. They look at Annie and they don't see a person, they see a living, breathing treasure map. It's just pure, unfiltered self-interest. Well, that greed backfires. Big time. In their selfish hunt for treasure, they wake up the island's guardian, a giant, and suddenly everyone, including them, is in mortal danger. This is it. This is the ultimate test of character for every single one of them. And right here, at the most dangerous moment, we get the story's incredible turning point. The giant has the pirates trapped, ready to crush them. They're done for. And Annie? She does something that makes absolutely no sense from a logical point of view. She saves both pirates, the very same guys who were just plotting to capture her, who saw her as nothing more than a get-rich-quick scheme. She puts her own life on the line to save them from the giant. It's an act of compassion so extreme, it just completely shatters their entire worldview. This one single, selfless act becomes the spark for the story's most powerful theme. This isn't just about surviving anymore, it's about redemption. Back in their jail cell, you can see the change happening. One of the pirates, he's just broken, and he starts confessing his regrets. Turns out he wasn't always a bad guy. He was a son trying to take care of his aging mom. And for the first time, we see a crack in that tough pirate exterior. We see the human being hiding underneath. And Annie hears this. But instead of seeing two criminals who got what they deserved, she sees two desperate people who made some terrible choices. She actually argues for their freedom, saying that maybe it was their circumstances, not some evil inside them, that led them down this path. I mean, let's just break down this complete 180 they pull. They start with pure greed. Then, that greed is just shattered by the shock of Annie's kindness. Think about it. When someone does something so good it completely contradicts your cynical view of the world, it can force you to rethink everything. That shock leads to real remorse. And finally, to a promise to change their lives for good. It is an absolutely stunning transformation. And here it is, the oath. They don't just say sorry. They swear on their honor to lead a different kind of life. And they do. They end up joining the Royal Navy. Their redemption isn't just given to them, it's earned. Annie's whole journey leads her to this final incredible realization, which is the complete opposite of that first law of the ocean. People aren't just good or bad. They're complicated, and almost everyone has the capacity to change. And that leaves us with this final thought. The story shows us that the pirates weren't really monsters, and the merfolk's fear was totally misplaced. They were all just people. So the real question it asks us is, how often do our own prejudices, our own simple worldviews, blind us to the good that might be waiting in other people?